Now at 10, police arrest a Berry County jail escapee. We'll have details. Plus, some area students auction off their tiny creations. And we'll hear from some area scouts about their time at Friendship Fields Day Camp.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A robbery suspect leads police on a high-speed chase in Oklahoma. This is KOAM News at 10. Police in Webb City yesterday responded to a report of an armed robbery at a Subway restaurant. These surveillance images captured the suspect's vehicle, and authorities say today they found that vehicle. This afternoon, authorities in Mays County, Oklahoma, chased the car along I-44 and onto State Highway 20. During the chase, the suspect went into oncoming traffic, then stopped west of Pryor, Oklahoma, got out and ran. Authorities say they know who the suspect is, but they're not releasing that information at this time. They also say the vehicle was stolen out of Oklahoma. No one was injured during the robbery or that pursuit. Authorities captured one of 3 inmates who broke out of the Berry County, Missouri jail. Officers late today announced the capture of this man, escapee Christopher Blevins, in Casper, Wyoming. Lance Stevens, Matthew Crawford, and Blevins had escaped from the Berry County Jail in Cassville on Friday. They were considered armed and dangerous. Investigators think one or more of the escapees stole a pickup in Berry County, then stole an SUV in Salina, Kansas, and ditched it in Wallace County, Kansas, near the Colorado line. Authorities say one escapee might have been spotted in Springfield, Missouri, and one in Arkansas. You're going to find much more on this case, including how they escaped, on KOAMNewsNow.com. Melatonin overdoses in children are on the rise nationally, including in Missouri. A study from the CDC shows the number of children overdosing on the sleep aid has grown 530% over the last decade. One local pharmacist says melatonin is not fully regulated by the FDA. He says because of that, he worries about things like dosage in the sleeping aid.
Just because it says 1 milligram on the bottle doesn't mean that there's 1 milligram, or sometimes that there's any of it in there, which can be kind of scary. But getting it from a trusted source and being able to ask questions is really important to make sure you know what you're consuming, because over-the-counter products are different than prescription products.
Isaac says gummy melatonin or other medications are more attractive to children and can also pose the risk of an overdose. Let's check in with Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, after we got some scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms late morning into the early afternoon, clouds kind of hung for us today, so it kept our temperatures down, only 74 for a high. We started at 65, even though we did clear out nicely. Had a very nice evening. It's clear out there right now. We actually look pretty good. We're going to stay dry as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. But of course, waiting in the wings is our next storm system, which will start to affect us by late in the daytime hours tomorrow. Look at our temps. It's comfortable. We're sitting into the mid-60s with all that wonderful moisture on the ground and light winds. We're going to get some patchy fog, so watch out for that in the morning. Eventually up to 82 degrees, and we got more storms to talk about here in just a bit.
See you then. This week, Girl Scouts took their annual trip to Friendship Fields Day Camp. KOAM's Jalen Banks has more.
The Girl Scout Imaginarium Day Camp has over 30 volunteers, with 60 campers ages K through 12, with some that travel as far as Texas.
The theme for this year is Imaginarium. The campers will get an opportunity to create, explore, and grow by doing different exercises such as arts and crafts, canoeing, and other team building exercises. Jenny Gallen, director of the camp, says that seeing the scouts progress through the years is what makes her continue to come back to the camp.
You know, anytime a girl catches a fish for the first time, or gets on a kayak for the first time, or a canoe, or starts her first fire, it makes everything worth it. All the hours and time we put into planning this, it makes everything worth it.
Jenny also says that the skills she hopes the campers gain from their time as Girl Scouts is their people skills. Bethany Blessett, a program assistant at the camp, has been a Girl Scout since kindergarten and echoes that sentiment.
being able to meet new people and interact with different types of people, I think that's really helped. In a career, you're going to need to interact with a lot of different people, and I think that's really helped me be more sociable and not be as nervous when I have to meet new people in a crowd.
In Frontenac, at the Friendly Fields Girl Scout Day Camp, Jalen Banks, KOAM News.
That camp will run through Friday. Some area high school students saw the fruits of their labor as the tiny homes they built were auctioned off. Students in Crowder's Building Technology program built 2 cabins and 2 hunting blinds for school projects. And today the program hosted an online auction to sell them.
They actually get to see us start to finish, how do we build and do stuff. So they learn, not only the construction, the framing, the electrical, the plumbing, all those projects, as well as the finished work.
The program consists of high school students from Neosho, McDonald County, Seneca, East Newton, and Diamond. A Joplin organization today made its way to Carl Junction. 1 Million Cups hosts meetings with members of the Joplin Chamber of Commerce, complete with coffee. Today, they hosted a meeting for businesses in Carl Junction. Officials hope events like this can boost the local economy.
There's a lot of great feedback from people that have been through starting a business, running a business, and it was good to get a bunch of feedback.
If you're interested in learning more about 1 Million Cups, you can visit our website, koamnewsnow.com. Local car dealership teamed up with an organization to make a warm donation. Frank Fletcher Subaru and Leukemia and Lymphoma Society donated blankets to patients from the Freeman Cornell Bashore Cancer Institute. The donation's a tradition with the dealership as it celebrates its Subaru Loves to Care event in June. The goal of the donations is to spread hope and warmth to the patients during treatments.
I think it's amazing. I think that, we really appreciate the fact that they care so much for the community, and especially for our cancer patients. We are very appreciative.
They also donated metal lunch boxes containing art supplies to Children's Miracle Network hospitals for pediatric patients. Joplin nonprofit organizations served the community with a drive today. Newly formed Friends of the Joplin Public Library launched a membership drive so they could grow the services of the library. The drive's goal is to raise funds by having people enroll in memberships. They see this as a chance to improve community awareness and provide more support for the library.
And we, of course, want to support the already strong programs that this library already offers. And libraries are like schools and many other entities that an outside support group is often a real boost for them.
Yearly dues start at $5 for students under 18, $10 for an individual membership, $20 for a family. Coming up, details about a ruling for gun control legislation, plus
the Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack and what led up to it holds a hearing during prime time tomorrow. I'm Natalie Brand with a preview of what you can expect.
Members of the committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol are promising explosive new information is going to come to light during tomorrow's primetime public hearings. Reporter Natalie Brand has a preview of what to expect.
Nearly 1 year after a House Select Committee formed to investigate the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, the panel will hold a primetime hearing to reveal its findings so far.
We're ready to tell the story.
The committee says it will present previously unseen material and receive witness testimony. They'll hear from a U.S. Capitol police officer and a filmmaker who documented events around the Capitol that morning.
I can say that certainly one of the themes that we will be fleshing out is the fact that in advance of the 6th, that there was an understanding of the propensity for violence that day.
The 9-member Select Committee is made up of 7 Democrats and 2 Republicans. They have interviewed around 1,000 witnesses and received 140,000 documents in connection with the deadly attack. 5 officers lost their lives in relation to January 6th.
We owe it to the officers who lost their lives and the officers who were injured to tell that story and to ensure that this never happens again.
The committee has also issued dozens of subpoenas, including those to former White House officials and allies of President Trump who were involved in the planning of the rally held at the Ellipse just before the Capitol attack. According to CBS News polling, most Americans, 70%, said it's important to find out what happened that day and who was involved. But Republicans are divided on the issue, with most saying they don't want their party to focus on it.
This committee is not about seeking the truth. It is a smear campaign against President Donald Trump.
Thursday will be just the first of a series of hearings in June to lay out the investigation into what the committee calls a coordinated, multi-step effort to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election and prevent the transfer of power. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
CBS is going to have live coverage of that hearing, and you can watch it right here tomorrow on KOAM at 7 p.m. Today, the House of Representatives passed a wide-ranging package of gun control legislation in the wake of recent mass shootings. The Protecting Our Kids Act was passed largely along party lines. Among many other things, the package would raise the age to buy certain semi-automatic rifles from 18 to 21. The measure won't likely pass in the Senate due to widespread GOP opposition to stricter gun control. Authorities caught an armed man outside of the home of Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Law enforcement arrested 26-year-old Nicholas John Roski of Simi Valley, California. Police say he was carrying a handgun, knife, and pepper spray at the time of his arrest. Police say Roski called police to report himself, telling officers at the scene near Kavanaugh's home that he wanted to kill the justice. Roski is making his first court appearance in Maryland federal court. Made it today. A little bit later, 4 staters gathered in Commerce, Oklahoma for Commerce Days, and there was a celebrity appearance near the event.
Plus, we need a chance to dry out, but we're not going to get it yet. More storms in the forecast. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, we got some scattered showers and thunderstorms in here earlier today, late morning into the early afternoon, and then it turned out okay. A lot of clouds most of the day, but the evening was fantastic. It still looks good. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, right on the west side of Seneca, Missouri. It looks pretty good. All right, temps, comfortable. Look at this. We're sitting mid-60s across the board. We're going to drop back into the upper 50s a little bit later on tonight. Let's go outside. Currently sitting at 65, but here's the problem. Calm winds, humidity is high, all that moisture on the ground. It's got to go somewhere, and it's going to turn into clouds, which will be fog as they were on the surface. So watch out for the fog throughout the overnight hours tonight. But any rain we had earlier today, this is all gone. We look pretty good, not a whole bunch going on until you find our next storm system. This wave, northern parts of Wyoming, southern parts of Montana. Now, this is the upper level flow. So if you follow the arrows, it drops it in, especially southwestern Missouri, as we get into tomorrow night. Until then, we're going to be just fine. Let's go through the night tonight. We'll drop back upper 50s. Kind of chilly to start the day. Warm through the 60s into the 70s by noon. We should get near 80 by the time we head into the afternoon. So here's your forecast for you tomorrow. Starting at 59, 77 by noon, high of 82. Very slight chance there could be an isolated shower, thunder shower, late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. It's tomorrow night. We got to keep our eyes to the sky. Look at the big band of showers, thunderstorms dropping in. This is going to be after midnight, so this is going to be late night storms. There will be somewhat scattered, but the areas that do get the thunderstorms, they could be strong, possibly low-grade severe as this big batch really drops in. So this is going to be 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. Friday morning. Most of these will be out by 7 or 8, 9 a.m. by the time we head into Friday, and then Friday afternoon looks pretty good, back near 80. A few isolated little guys may try to pass through during the afternoon. But we do need to watch that batch tomorrow night, and there is at least a low severe threat with those storms. Main threat, gusty winds, large hail. But I'm going to keep all the threats low for now, and we'll kind of check it out tomorrow and see what it looks like. All right, rainfall with this next batch also could be excessive, which we don't need. Anywhere from a half an inch upwards to an inch, maybe 2 inches of rain across the region. So that's something we want to watch. It does get better. We do start to dry out. Upper 80s on Saturday, maybe a couple storms late Saturday into Sunday, but we go into the 90s by the time Sunday rolls around. Summertime is going to make its presence felt. 82 tomorrow, 83 on Friday, 88 Saturday, 93 on Sunday, 93 on Monday. And of course, it wouldn't be summertime here in the 4 states if you didn't add in a little bit of humidity as well to make it feel a little bit stickier.
That notorious heat index.
Yeah, it's back.
Yeah, of course it is. Thanks, Doug. Hey, folks in Commerce, Oklahoma today enjoyed a carnival for Commerce Days. Commerce Days is back. This is the 11th year of the event. There were carnival rides, vendors, live music. Commerce Days will continue through Saturday with events including a karaoke contest and frog and turtle races. And look at this. We have a celebrity sighting in Commerce near the celebration. That guy in the gray shirt there, look closely. That is actor Sylvester Stallone. Our photographer, Franz Wallace, got the video. Stallone has been in Oklahoma shooting a series titled Tulsa King. On his Instagram account, Stallone explains his character in the series is fascinated by Mickey Mantle and visits Mantle's childhood home, which, of course, in real life is actually in Commerce, Oklahoma. Speaking of Oklahoma sports heroes, coming up in sports, the Oklahoma Sooners hit the field for the opening game of the Women's College World Series Championship, and Pitt State women's basketball team camp brings in 150 teams from all across the region. Jacob Leonard has that story and more up next.
Well, today is the opening day of Pitt State women's basketball high school team camp. Now, it's one of the biggest camps in the area with more than 150 teams scheduled to come to town over the next 10 days. State women's basketball high school team camp brings in teams from all around the region.
This week we'll have 71 and 84, I think, next week. So it's going to be a lot of teams and a lot of really good talent, a lot of great coaches that come in that we've built great relationships with.
Over a span of 6 days, more than 150 teams will play around 600 games in 6 different locations as part of the camp. For local teams, it's a chance to push themselves against new and tough competition.
We get to see a lot of different competition for our kids. We put our group in the toughest competition division every year, and we see a lot of great basketball. And it's not about necessarily wins and losses, but improving. And we give our kids that opportunity to kind of expand their game, progress, and maybe put some more tools in their bag for the season.
For Pittsburgh State, it gives the coaching staff a chance to see potential recruits.
Typically, we would possibly get a commitment from this camp or right before camp, right after camp. We get them here on campus, get them to meet our players, meet our staff, and get involved in the community. They're going places in the community that they get to see that even before you're a Pitt State athlete. I think Pittsburgh is really appreciative of new people coming into town because we're always dealing with that with the college, incoming freshmen and those things. So the college is very welcoming, the town's very welcoming. So it's really their first taste of that.
And it gives current PSU players who help run the camp a chance to work together in the off-season and build a little team chemistry.
It's awesome to have our incoming freshmen and new players come join us and see what Pitt State is all about and kind of get a feel for who we are, like as individuals on and off the court.
All the way around, it is just a phenomenal experience for, I think, everybody, and we're happy to host. We love that we have this, like I told somebody, I ran out of room in the dorms, and they're like, well, that's a great problem to have. And so some of these things, it truly is, like, it's a beautiful mess. We love it.
Session 1 of the camp runs from today through Friday, with Session 2 going from Wednesday to Friday next week. Well, tonight is Game 1 of the Women's College World Series Championship. The Oklahoma Sooners are in the tournament finals for the 3rd consecutive season. Now, the Sooners face the rival Texas Longhorns this evening in the opening game of the 3-game championship series. Right now, Oklahoma is in control. They lead 14-1 in the top of the 6th. Jocelyn Allo is 3 for 3 in the game with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. The Kansas City Royals have struggled a little bit lately. The Royals have lost 3 games in a row and 15 of their last 18 games. And this afternoon, they're on the field at home against the Blue Jays, trying to avoid a 3-game sweep. They got off to a good start. Bottom of the 1st, Emmanuel Rivera up the middle. That scores 2. Royals up 3-0 after the first. Skipping ahead to the fourth now, it's tied at 3 until Salvador Perez, RBI single of his own, scores Andrew Benintendi. Kansas City back up 1, and the bats would stay rolling in the 6th here. Carlos Santana doubles on a line drive to right. Perez in easily from third. At that point, it's 7-3 Kansas City. But they would get another. Whit Merrifield in the 7th. Double here scores Michael Taylor. Kansas City avoids the sweep 8-4. 8 runs, by the way, the most for the Royals in a game since May 15th. As for the St. Louis Cardinals, they try to even their series with the Rays tonight after a heartbreaker in extra innings last night. Now, tonight's game, not as close as that one. Cards fall 11-3. Tyler O'Neill goes 2 for 4 for St. Louis with a solo home run and 3 RBIs. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Gene Harris served in the U.S. Army from 1951 to 1953. His hometown, Neosho, Missouri, and we are proud to salute Gene Harris, a 4-state hero. Hope you're enjoying Merely Warm because soon enough it's going to be hot.
Yeah, the heat's going to kick in, but we still have to deal with more rain once again. Thunderstorms tomorrow night. These guys could pack a little bit of a punch. 88 by Saturday.
About a final sports note.
Assuming Oklahoma softball is able to hold on and finish off tonight, they will aim for the national championship at 6:30 tomorrow. All they need is one more win.
Wow. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of more of the festivities at Commerce Days. Let's make it a great tomorrow.